Hello there, here with a video that I've been wanting to make now for quite a few days. So sorry this is later, I've had this done at the weekend just gone. It's taken me many days because I've only had my vinyl delivered today. I've only got the one copy from Blood Records and I should know better by now that Blood Records take forever to come. But it's this album. It's Liam Gallagher and John Squire by Liam Gallagher and John Squire. Yeah, so first things first, I shall show you the copy I own. That is the front cover. We'll say more about the artwork in a minute. That is the back cover. Number, if you care, this is number 2,470 out of 10,000. Within it, white sleeve, and we have the, I think it's Zoetrope is how you pronounce it. So there you go. One side, I think that's side one, I think. Yeah, side one and side two, I think. I'm sort of guessing there. But yeah, obviously, because this is from Blood Records, it's different artwork. Well, the colour of it's different. So I don't know if on standard editions of this album you get lyrics and stuff, but there's no lyrics on this version. Anyway, that can go on there. So yes, Liam Gallagher, John Squire, the frontman of Oasis and the guitarist from the Stone Roses, but you knew that anyway, you wouldn't be watching this video. A collaboration that many people have wanted for many years, and I didn't realise how much I wanted this, but yeah, it ended up, I really do. I will get into the background in a minute, but first things first, I will say that when this was announced, I didn't really care for it, to be honest. I didn't really pay any attention. And then the first single, Just Another Rainbow, came out and I didn't like it. And yeah, I wasn't excited. I wasn't really paying any attention to it whatsoever. But then the second single, Master Liverpool, came out and that was light bulb moment for me. Since that just got me proper excited. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away yet for the track by track review. But yeah, Master Liverpool is a great song. So how did we get here? Well, we'll go into the background. I've got all this to talk about today. You can see that. Lots to talk about. Keep you all very entertained. This is Liam's fourth album, technically, under his own name. John Squire's first release under his own name since 2004, I think, last time Mr. Squire released something under his own name. Now, if you have watched my previous reviews of Liam Gallagher solo albums, you'll see that they're kind of hit and miss. His most recent one, Come On You Know, from 2022, don't listen to that. I don't care for that album. Watch my review, it's pretty negative. And yeah, I didn't care for it. I didn't like the album, to be honest. The other two, As You Were and Why Me, Why Not, again, I never listened to those. To be honest, they don't interest me. They're boring. That's the problem with Liam's solo stuff. It's boring. It's predictable. It's been done a million times before and done better elsewhere. But it sounds like Oasis, is the argument that I always hear. But it doesn't. It doesn't. You know? So there's a reason I prefer no. Anyway, this album, thankfully, without giving too much away just yet, it's really good. I really like it. This is, for me, the best thing Liam has done, post BDI at least. Probably post Oasis as well. He's been pushed out his comfort zone, and yeah, it's really, really good. And I hope that they do another album, that this is the beginning of something. I don't want Liam going back to doing solo albums if they're going to be like the other three. I hope he carries on with stuff like this. Anyway, background. This album, it was released March 1st, 2024. Which was last Friday at the time of recording this. Like I say, I'd have had this video up long before now if this had been delivered a bit earlier. But it's only come today. It's taken its time. It was recorded in 2023, predominantly, this album. And it was produced by Greg Kurstin, who has produced all of Liam's solo albums. And for the love of God, I wish Liam would ditch him. I mean, Greg Kurstin at the minute seems to be a producer that a hell of a lot of people use. And I don't know why. Because I'm yet to hear him produce anything like that's really, really good. And I know he works with like Paul McCartney on his album Egypt Station, and I have reviewed Egypt Station, and I do like that album, but I don't think I like it because of Greg Kurstin's production. I think I like it because of Paul McCartney's songs. Same thing here. I like this album. I don't like some of Greg Kurstin's, well, I imagine it's his production choices. But yeah, Liam, you're probably not watching this. John Squire, you're probably not watching this. But next time you do something together, please ditch Greg Kurstin, please. I beg you. There were 2 singles that preceded this album, Just Another Rainbow and Mars to Liverpool, as I've mentioned. I think there's just been, like, the day it came out on the 1st of March, I think the 3rd single was released, which is Raise Your Hands. Raise Your Hands, sorry. I think that's now a single. I don't know if it's getting played on the radio and stuff. I did see yesterday a music video if it was released. So, yeah. So the personnel, the band playing on this album, it's pretty much just the same band lineup on every track. You've got Liam and John Squire. Greg Kurstin is playing bass, and Joe, oh, now here we go, Waronker, I think, is playing the drums. But otherwise, that is it. That is all we have playing on this album. So, how did this collaboration happen? Well, we've got to go back to 2020. Everything in this day and age seems to go back to 2020, and although it's not COVID related, but it all seems to always go back to 2020. Anyway, in 2020, John Squire broke his thumb while playing baseball with his son. Who plays baseball? And he was struggling for his thumb to heal. So he worried and he wondered if he'd ever be able to play guitar again. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he's tried to catch a baseball and it's bent his thumb back or something, and ow. Anyway, fast forward now to 2022 and his thumb has finally healed. I think he's had to have a bit of, I don't know if he's had surgery done or physiotherapy, is that the word? Done? To get the use of his thumb back, but he managed to. And he was able to play guitar again. And because he could do that, he wanted to start making music again. But, you know, the Stone Roses were no more. Ian Brown is away doing his own thing now, his karaoke act, as he seems to have become. Yeah, so he was just interested in music again. He didn't feel he was finished with it, John Squire. So he started writing songs, but it was mainly just him writing riffs on the guitar and stuff, and he didn't really know what to do with it. Anyway, as he went on writing songs, he was initially considering getting a female vocalist to come and help him record something, which could have been really interesting, actually. John Squire, a female vocalist. I don't know what style of female vocalist he'd use, whether he'd go down like the soul route or like a punk sort of route, or who knows. But obviously, Nebworth 2022, Liam Gallagher's gig there. Mr. Squire came out to play Champagne Supernova like he did at the Oasis gigs back in '96. And it was from there where John Squire started to think, well, I'll get Liam Gallagher to sing on these. So he suggested it to Liam, and Liam was on board with it. I mean, John Squire of the Stone Roses, it's one of his heroes. If he asked you to sing songs that he's written, would you not say yes? I know I would say yes, especially when it's better than what the army of songwriters were writing for Liam. Anyway, so then in December 2022, Liam Gallagher visited John Squire's home studio in Macclesfield to record some demos. The demos are out there. I haven't heard them. I believe if you buy a digital pressing thing on some website, which I genuinely I do not get it. Although it has got alternative artwork, which is just like a pencil drawing of this, which actually looks better than the finished thing. So yeah, those demos are out there, but you've got to kind of pay to listen to them, which I'm not doing. I don't care that much. Anyway, in 2023, Sessions then moved to LA, where this album was recorded in just 2 weeks, so that was bloody quick. Some people might argue listening to it. You can tell it was recorded in 2 weeks, but, you know, the Beatles recorded their debut album in 12 hours. So, you know, what can I say? Anyway, the album was first teased officially in December 2023. Liam Gallagher's social media account started posting cryptic videos about John Squire, and John Squire started posting cryptic videos about Liam Gallagher. However, before that, Liam Gallagher had mentioned on his Twitter account that he'd worked on an album with John Squire, so we did know it was coming. I should make reference to one of Liam's tweets where he boldly claimed that this album is better than Revolver. Now, I'm assuming he's joking with that, and he was joking. He must have been joking. But a lot of people have taken that serious, and because he's made such a bold claim about this album, I think that's maybe why quite a few people don't seem to like it. Speaking of liking it, though, critical reception for this album has been mostly positive. The critics all seem to be liking it. It mainly seems to be getting like 3 out of 5 stars, which isn't bad. Fan reaction is mixed. It seems to be like Marmite this. There is a lot of people out there that love this album, and there's a lot of people out there that hate this album. And it seems to be the people who didn't like when Noel did Who Built the Moon and all those EPs and the experimental stuff. Those type of people seem to be the type of people who don't like this because it's Liam doing something a bit different. Now, there is the thing as well, a lot of people go, the lyrics are crap. I will get onto the lyrics. They're not brilliant, but lyrics, you know, they're not the biggest thing in the world. You can look past that if the songs themselves are fine. It's when the melodies and stuff are boring, and, you know, if it's a bad melody and a bad lyric, then yeah, we've got a problem. I will talk about the artwork now, actually. I'm assuming that's been designed by John Squire, and it's bloody awful. I mean, a 5-year-old could do better than that. I mean, there's a lovely newborn baby next door. I'm sure they could do a better job than that. Yeah, if you can hear any screaming, by the way, that is the newborn baby next door. That's why I brought that up. But yeah, the artwork, I mean, the idea is each one represents a song, but it's just a bit shit, innit? I mean, so, and the name of the album, Liam Gallagher and John Squire, I mean, it's not very exciting, is it? I mean, could you not have thought of a better name? I mean, I know the Stone Roses debut was called The Stone Roses. I know the White Album by the Beatles is officially called The Beatles. The first Rolling Stones album is called The Rolling Stones, etc. So yeah, I get that argument, but the thing is, this isn't really a debut album. We know who Liam Gallagher and John Squire is. And it's not like an artistical reason for doing it like the Beatles did with the White Album. It's just, they probably can't be arsed thinking of a name. I mean, you could have called it Mars to Liverpool. I think that would have been a good name for an album. Mars to Liverpool. Why would you not call it that? And you could have done a better artwork than that. Like some Mars to Liverpool style of artwork. I don't know. I'm not an artist, but, you know, I'm having ideas in my head that are better than that. And I don't want to... I mean, I'm assuming... Does it say that John Squire done the artwork? Let's have a look. Published... Sorry, I should have looked this up before. No, it doesn't say. Funnily enough, nobody seems to want to own up to designing that. But I'm going to guess it's John Squire. I mean, the man's a painter, he's an artist, so it must be. I mean, who else is going to do it? So yeah, don't like the name of the album. Don't like the artwork for the album. But the album itself, I like it. I do like the album. It goes to show we should not judge a book by its cover, because if you were to judge this by its cover, you'd think... I don't know what you'd think looking at that. Yeah, what do you think when you look at that? What does that picture say to you? Let me know in the comments, that'd be interesting. Maybe some of you think it's like the Mona Lisa and it's a piece of art and I should maybe be getting it framed like some of these albums up here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. Oh, the charts, I should say quickly. The charts haven't been announced yet, but at the time of recording this, the midweeks were announced on Monday and it's at number 1 at the minute. It will most likely stay at number 1. I'll be very surprised if this isn't a number 1 album. Nothing else has been released this week, so yeah, it'll be number 1, I can imagine. Unless her, who won all them awards at the Brits, her album maybe jumps back up to number 1, I don't know. Ray or whatever she's called. I'd never heard of her before the Brits. Who's Ray? I'm sure at my age. Anyway, track by track review. It opens with the opening track, believe it or not. Raise Your Hand. Stomping opening track, this. Great song. Like I said, I think this is currently a single. I think it's probably getting played on the radio quite a bit at the minute. I wouldn't know though, because I don't listen to the radio. Liam's vocals, they are on top form here. John Squire's guitar, as you would expect, is out of this world. Can I just say, I didn't say it there, John Squire, it is so good to have him back. He is such an underrated musician. Yeah, it's just really nice to have him back. Great chorus, very catchy on this one. I haven't got the lyrics, that's annoying. I was hoping the lyrics would be printed so I could read you some of them, but I can't because they're not printed, on here at least. But it's, you know, raise your hands, we're alive, I think. Obviously sang properly. This song kind of reminds me a little bit of Lila, obviously by Oasis. Particularly with the outro, because in the outro to this song, there's sort of like a piano. I think it's a piano, or is it a keyboard? It's one of the two. That comes in, which is kind of in vain to what it was like on Lila. Yeah, and just the whole vibe of the song is quite Lila-like. It's not as good a song as Lila, but yeah, just reminded me of it a bit. Yeah, it sets the tone of the album brilliantly. Just a good song. I'm seeing, obviously, Liam and John are doing a tour this month, and I am seeing them. I will be seeing them at Newcastle City Hall, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm guessing they're just going to be doing every song on this album live. I can't imagine them not doing any of it live because they won't have enough songs to fill a set. So yeah, I think this one will be very, very good live. So yeah, raise your hand. Great start to the album. Right, track 2, Mars to Liverpool. Why was this not the lead single? This should 100% have been the lead single off this album, and I don't think it would have divided people as much as what was the lead single did. This is a fantastic song. I love it. I absolutely love this song. It's probably my joint favourite on the album, and for me, this is the best thing that Liam has done since going solo. Yeah, thank God for John Squire has come along and given Liam something interesting to do, because it's just a really good song. The chorus, I absolutely love the chorus here. Here comes that feeling, here it comes again. I'm waiting for the storm to run out of rain. That in itself is a brilliant lyric. I'm waiting for the storm to run out of rain. Yeah, I know the lyrics are getting a bit of a bashing on this album. John Squire, I should say, has wrote everything, so lyrics and music. I'm guessing with the Stone Roses, now I don't know this for certain, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing, because both Ian Brown and John Squire were credited, I'm guessing John Squire wrote the music and Ian Brown wrote the lyrics. Because the lyrics in places on this album, yeah, it is weak. Thankfully, the music does make up for it, and the way Liam sings, you know, the lyrics works fine. You know, lyrics can be weak. If your vocalist can deliver the lyrics fine and sing it with passion, it doesn't really matter what they're saying. Yeah. John Squire's guitar on this song is brilliant, which just kind of goes without saying that. I'm going to say that about virtually every track on this album. Fantastic chorus, very catchy. It's very Beatlesy sounding, this song, which, you know, I'm a huge Beatles fan, evidently. And it's a common thing when you listen to Oasis and stuff, and people go, oh, it sounds like the Beatles, it sounds like a Beatles tribute band. And there's times where you can hear it, but for the most part, I don't ever really think, nah, it doesn't really, they don't sound that good. They don't sound as good as the Beatles. But this song here, there's another song as well actually on this album, but this one in particular to me sounds very Beatlesy. Yeah, especially on the chorus, it just sounds, yeah, just like a modern, if the Beatles were still together, I imagine this would be the sort of thing they'd be doing at the ripe old age of 80 odd. Something I have picked up on this song, and I've heard other people say this, the chorus, it sounds like there's some auto-tune being used. It sounds like Liam's using auto-tune, which that's not very rock and roll. You know, rock and roll stars should not be using auto-tune, should they? Again, I assume that's Greg Kurstin's work there. So again, Liam, ditch him. You don't need auto-tune. You can sing just fine. You know. Yeah, I don't like it when people use auto-tune. It's just, it's disappointing. I mean, it doesn't ruin the song. It's just disappointing that Liam's using auto-tune, because it means this song, when we get to hear it live, which I'm very excited to hear this song live, I hope the chorus isn't a letdown because of the auto-tune that's being used on the record. But anyway, this song itself, this is rock and roll at its finest. This is what rock and roll should be, this sort of song. Yeah, Mars to Liverpool. If there's one song anyone listens to from this album, it would be this one, I would suggest. Really like it. Right, track 3, we have One Day at a Time. This is another stomper. A bit like the first track. I think it was this song that John Squire said was his favourite on the album. I think he said it sounds like there's about to be like a punch-up in a saloon or something in a western. Or, you know, like where the tables and stuff are getting smashed up in a western. Which I can kind of hear what he means by that. I'm assuming it's this song. I can't see what other song it would have been that he was talking about. But anyway, Liam's vocals here, they're out of this world, they're brilliant. Some of his best vocals in years on this album, to be honest. I would say it's his best vocals since Oasis. Yeah, you can just hear him really going for it, and he's singing styles of songs, I'll get to them in a bit, but that he hasn't done before, and it's very interesting to hear. There's some acoustic guitar breaks in this song from John Squire, which is very nice. Again, the guitar work, it's very, very good. I like the lyrics in this song. Especially the welcome back a bit in the second verse. I can't remember what it goes like now, but if you listen to it, you'll hear what I mean. It's the welcome back. I really should stop singing. But that bit of the song, yeah, it's just a really nice song. Again, I imagine this one will go down very well live. Excited to see it. Right, track 4, I'm a Wheel. The blues. It's the blues. They're doing the blues. Liam Gallagher is singing the blues. Well, he's never sang the blues before, and he sings it very well. You know, here we go. Thank you, John Squire, pushing Liam Gallagher into an interesting zone of music that he hasn't done before. You know, we had Noel singing the blues a few years ago on a Peter Green tribute album. If you never heard that, I think it's under Mick Fleetwood. You've got to search. You can hear Noel singing the blues very well, and this is Liam singing the blues. Again, very well. It kind of makes me want to hear a whole album of Liam singing the blues. Yeah, like I say, I love how John Squire is pushing Liam out of his comfort zone. That is the sort of thing we want. That's the sort of thing that makes it interesting. That's the sort of thing that Noel's doing. And what, if Oasis were together, I would hope Noel would be trying to do with Oasis. But I also suspect that's probably why Noel has no interest in getting them back together, because, I don't know, I imagine Liam would be quite hard to push out his comfort zone. So thank God. Thank you, Mr. Squire, for doing that. The song itself, it reminds me a bit of a blend of Cold Turkey, which is by Plastic Ono Band, John Lennon, and Let Me Roll It by Wings. They're not quite, it's not as good a song as either of those two songs. You know, it's not as heavy or as lyrically dark as Cold Turkey, but yeah, good tune. It's not the best lyrics on the album, this one. I'm a wheel, keep turning, stuff like that. But John Squire makes up for it with his guitar work, and the passion Liam sings with makes up for it too. So again, it just, you know, just because the lyrics are bad, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. If your singer can sing with passion and you've got a great band or a great guitarist backing you up, then it works just fine. So yeah. Track 5, Just Another Rainbow, the lead single. Why was this the lead single? What? If this hadn't been the lead single and this was the first time I'd have heard it, I'd have come on here saying that this is the worst track on the album. And I still stand by that this is the worst track on the album. It's just boring. It's just tedious. You know, why was it even a single, let alone the lead single? Why was it even a single? It was like Liam's last album where he put out the title track, Come On You Know, as a single, and it was a terrible song. And he's done it again, but this time with this is the lead single. To be honest, I normally skip this song. It's the only song on the album I skip, which says something about the quality of the album, and I don't want to skip most of it, except this one. I imagine one of the reasons it was the lead single, though, was because it sounds very Stone Roses. It sounds very Waterfall-esque. John Squire saves this song with his guitar work, but the lyrics, even the way Liam's singing it, you can't escape how bad they are when Liam's singing. It's when he starts singing the colours of the rainbow, and you just want to switch it off at that point. Yeah, lyrics are dreadful. They are dreadful. You know, Liam, he sings them well, but even his singing, like I say, can't save him. The song itself, the melody reminds me a little bit, like I said, Waterfall by the Stone Roses, but also Rain by the Beatles, B-side to Paperback Writer. Yeah, it's a little bit like that. You can hear it a bit. Now, people online have made this song out to be an absolute travesty. It's terrible. It's awful. Whilst, yeah, I do skip it, and I do think it should never have been a lead single, and it's not a great song. It's not as bad as what it's been made out to be. Liam has done a lot worse than this. You know, it's not as bad as something like I'm Free off Come On You Know, or The River off Why Me, Why Not, or Chinatown off As You Were, or Come On You Know, the title track off Come On You Know. You know, it's not as bad as those songs, so, you know, it's got that going in its favour at least. But there may be people out there that like this song, and if you do, enjoy it. You know, I know my mate George, he likes this song, because it sounds like the Stone Roses, and, you know, I like the Stone Roses, but, yeah, if I want to listen to something like Waterfall, I'll go and listen to Waterfall. Anyway, track 6, Love You Forever. It's got a nice groove to it, this tune. Great chorus, very catchy. And it's a bit psychedelic sounding, this one. I suppose you could say Just Another Rainbow was a bit psychedelic as well. But this one's got, on the chorus at least, a bit of an echoey kind of vocal style, which I like. Lyrics on this one are simple, but there's nothing wrong with simple lyrics. They work just fine. You know, we don't always need songs to be like a Bob Dylan song where it's, you know, lyrically genius, but, you know, simple lyrics, they work fine. Liam's vocals are excellent, and John Squire's guitar is on top form once again. There's not really much to say about this song, really. Just, yeah, it's decent enough. Track 7, Make It Up As You Go Along. I love this song. One of my favourites on the album. One of the standouts for me. First time I listened to it, this was one of the ones that stood out the most to me. It's very Britpop sounding, this one. It's very 90s. It's probably the most Britpop sounding. Most of these songs on the album sound very 60s or 70s. But this is about the closest thing to contemporary, I suppose we could call, if we can call the 90s. Now recent times, 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, Liam's vocals are, again, fab on here. John Squire's guitar is also great. Lyrics on this tune, I really like it. Make it up as you go along. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers, and fuck you too. I love that line. God, I wish I had the lyrics printed here, and then because it's still a new album, I can't remember all the lyrics yet. I'm still learning them, so yeah. Yeah, it's the shortest tune on the album, this one. It's the only one that's under 3 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes 40 something, I think. Which is a nice length. That's the problem with some of the songs on this album. They go on a bit too long, especially Just Another Rainbow. But this one, good length. I like songs that are about this length. They don't outstay their welcome. Track 8, You're Not the Only One. This is the heaviest song on the album. There seems to always have to be a song on Liam's albums that has to be very heavy, and it's normally the worst song on the album. I'm Free, The River, etc. But this one, it's good. I like this one. It sounds a bit like the Stones. It also reminds me of Bring the Light by Beady Eye. I think that was Beady Eye's debut single. It reminds us a bit of that anyway, especially the piano throughout this song. It's very kind of, yeah, it's just a very nice driving piano, I suppose. It kind of drives this song rather than the guitar. It's the only song on the album that isn't led by the guitar. It's led by the piano, this one. Vocals, believe it or not, they're fabulous. Yeah, like I say, guitar's good. Piano makes it though. I think the piano is better than the guitar on this song. And it's got a good groove to it. It's very 70s sounding. It does sound very 70s Stones, probably around Exile on Main Street kind of period of Stones, so about 72. Yeah, decent tune, like it. Track 9, I'm So Bored. It's got a great drive to it, this song. It's quite a good driving song, actually. It's just sort of like a foot tapper, a foot stomper, a head, like that sort of thing. Your head bop. Vocals are great on this one. There's some nice little riffs from John Squire throughout this song. Again, lyrics aren't the greatest. It's just, you know, I'm so bored, effectively. I mean, I can't remember the lyrics now, my mind's gone blank, but I like it, I do. I really like this song. Yeah, it's not the best song you'll hear on the album, but I still like it. It's harmless enough. It's just, you know, it's not the best piece of music you're ever going to hear. But yeah, I'm So Bored. Decent song. I like it. And then track 10, the closing track, Mother Nature's Song. I keep going to say Mother Nature's Son. It's not Mother Nature's Son. That's the Beatles. It's Mother Nature's Song. This one, again, it's very Stone Roses sounding, this one. This and Mars to Liverpool are the two best songs on the album, in my opinion. I really like this one. I know Liam has also said this is his favourite on the album. I think he says it's very spiritual, or sort of thing you can meditate by a river to. Yeah. Liam's vocals are very nice on this tune. It's a calmer song, this one. Although, I think on the chorus, there's some auto-tune again. No, Liam, that's not rock and roll. So, annoyingly, the two best songs on the album both use auto-tune. Yeah, I imagine this one will be a great song live. John Squire is fantastic on this song, and his guitar solo at the end is also very nice. Part of me thought would this song will work better as an acoustic ballad, rather than played on electric guitars, but I don't know, it works fine. Yeah, it's a nice closing track. It closes the album very well. It's some of the best vocals I've heard from Liam probably since Oasis. You know, it's nice on this album to hear Liam singing passionately, like in the style he did with Oasis, like he's singing like his life depends on it, because with some of his solo stuff he just doesn't sound like he means what he's singing, whereas on this album he does. So yeah, that is Liam Gallagher and John Squire, the first album from them. Hopefully the first of many, because I genuinely do hope they do another album, because this is better than anything Liam has done solo. One thing I would say about this album, it's a grower. If you listened to it first time and didn't like it, I can fully understand probably why you felt that way. But I would say keep trying, hang in there, because I think this album will grow on a lot of people, and I think by the end of this year, a lot of people will love this album a lot more than what they do now. So yeah, if you hang in there. You know, I was speaking to my brother about this album yesterday, and he said that John Squire saves this album. And I can kind of see what he means. John Squire is... You can tell that he is very much the driving force with this album. Liam has simply shown up and sang some lyrics. It's John who's been the creative force behind it. And maybe if they do another album together, they need to get someone else to write the lyrics. Maybe they need to get a proper band together. Get a bassist and a drummer, and get a bassist who can write songs. Get Paul McCartney in. There'd be a thought. But no, seriously, get a bassist who can write songs or write lyrics that can collaborate with John Squire. And it could be brilliant. Or maybe I should be controversial and say maybe John Squire should collaborate with Noel instead. But yeah, that's all I've got to say, I think. So let me know. Do you like this album? Do you not like it? If you don't, why not? Let it keep growing on you. But, you know. So yeah, I like this album. Really good. So that's all I've got to say for now. If you're going to see Liam and John live this month, enjoy them. I know I will. And yeah, I will see you very soon on a future video. So thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.